This is Eileen Ryan from Pounding Pavement 101. I'm here today with my client, Randy Zellea, who just landed a job, which I'm so thrilled about. Randy, thank you for being here and doing this.
No problem. Thanks for having me. I really appreciate it.
Okay, so Randy, we met actually because we're eventually going to become family, which is wonderful. You are marrying my cousin, which she's a very lucky woman.
I'm the lucky one. I'm the lucky one.
You were looking for a job for 7 months.
Correct.
What was that process like?
Especially during the COVID era right now, I think it was very, very difficult because everything was so limited. People were doing interviews via computer compared to being in person, and they weren't having the normal job fairs. It was just not, it was out of the norm. And also, you know, not having all the, after learning not having all the proper skills, it just becomes more difficult, and you end up having to sometimes settle for something you don't really want to take.
It was interesting when we first met. We hadn't met before this. Okay, so we've kind of become friends, and we'll become family, but we've become friends through this.
Yes.
Okay, and looking at the resume, and you got many different opinions.
Yes, many. Okay. Well, that's the nicest way of saying yes.
Your original resume before coming to me, were you getting any traction? Were you generating any activity off of it?
Just from positions that I knew that I didn't want to be in, from past experiences of positions I never wanted to work in again, you know, and you know, it's hard to move on in your life to take a job that you want instead of, being in that place where you don't want to be at one place anymore, and they keep trying to bring you back to that one place. You just didn't want to do that. So I was not getting, to answer your question, that was a long-winded answer. I was not getting anything that I felt that was to the level of my expectations.
So then we took a look at the resume, and we really focused in on your actual skills and what you wanted to do. And I think we completely revamped it.
One of the things I laughed about when you saw my original resume was, I don't know anything about you by looking at this resume. That was the one thing that really clicked with me. I was like, okay. Yes.
Well, you know, and it was really set up the way that resumes used to be set up in the 1980s. Obviously, things have changed, and things have changed rapidly just in the past number of years. So we really needed to do that update. So this way you were, you know, in current.
Yeah, the current form, where we started to where we ended up with was night and day.
So we then went through the resume development. Look, part 2 of this is, it's great that you have this resume and the marketing document. Part 2 is interview preparation. We need to prepare you to say things based on what recruiters are listening for.
Yeah.
What did you feel as you were going through that interview prep? Because did you do any preparation before for interviews?
Before this, no. Before this, just being 100% honest, it was one of those things where you're just like, just answer honestly. Don't be nervous. Don't be nervous. Don't be nervous. Don't be nervous. And then eventually, when you put that much pressure on yourself to not to be nervous, you end up being nervous. So it ends up just being one of those things. But like, no, I felt that I think it's good to be able to have, keys to what to look for when you're doing the interview. And also, lucky enough for me to have you there, to also have someone to prep with. It sort of changes the dynamic of it. And I think that's what's the most important thing, is being able to have someone in your corner to sort of, right, whether it's there or not, you also have a reference. And I think that's what's the key is. So if you're not available, the course was there to reference back. And I think that's very, very, very key. And I recommend anybody who's watching this, when you start having job interviews, to go back, and if you're unsure about something, go back, and because it's there in the course, to pick up the tips from the course.
Well, and it's interesting because the hardest thing to do is to proofread your own work. And I tell everyone that. But as you're preparing for interviews, as you're doing your resume, as you're going job searching, it helps to partner with someone. but someone who knows actually what's going on in the job market right now. You know, what's interesting is this program is coming right from the view of the recruiter, because I am an executive recruiter. So I'm talking to companies, I'm talking to candidates, and I'm taking a look at the whole process in order to get you that information. Now, you ultimately now landed a job. You're happy to be employed and off unemployment. Okay. But it's not the dream job, but hey, look, it's bringing a paycheck in and it's taking the pressure off you.
Yes, and I think that's what the key is. Sometimes it may not be the exactly what you want, but you also have to remember what the priorities are, and sometimes you have to remember that you also have a family to help contribute to, and I think that's the most important thing. So, you know, I think it's great that I'm able to start working, and you know, you may be able to create another dream, or you might find out that this is amazing source of income while you're also working on your passion projects as well.
And you do have the passion project. Tell me a little bit about Back Sports Page.
Well, I appreciate the plug on that. Back Sports Page was established back in late 2009. Right now, it's a great tool for younger writers and multimedia people to sort of get their foot in the door to build their own resume up and have a portfolio. Because I remember when I was in college and getting out of college and wanted to work in the media industry, there wasn't many opportunities for you to have a place where you can just have your work. And because everyone keeps on saying you need more experience, you need more experience. Well, I'm giving the experience, and because of my connections in the sports industry, I'm able to get people some of that experience that these other companies would want, as far as doing interviews and going out into the field and talking with people, going to events. So I try to make it a full service little website here, and
well, let's do a plug for that website. Where can people find Back Sports Page?
It's www.backsportspage.com, and if they want to visit us on all of our places, they can go to linktree, linktr.ee/backsportspage or backsportspage.com for everything. And and I appreciate that plug. Thank you so much.
Fantastic. So, and Back Sports Page is doing. So it's supporting young writers, broadcasting. What sports are you focusing on?
Everything. We do NFL, NBA, NHL, Major League Baseball, minor leagues. We podcast. Currently producing 8 podcasts right now and training people to become better podcasters. I have such a good handle on how to make them successful and develop them. Right now, we're on all major platforms between Spotify, Apple, Google, iHeartRadio, everywhere. So we're everywhere. We're trying to grow as quickly as we can.
Fantastic. Randy, thank you so much for doing this. Good luck on the new job. Good luck with Back Sports Page.
Thank you so very much. Really appreciate it.